All right, welcome to another song title challenge where the question is, climbers, how should you write this one? You got a title, you think you know what it should be about, and that's the low-hanging fruit. Sometimes, rarely, but sometimes that's the right way to go. Mostly, you got a little more work to do on the prep before you get to writing the like. You know what, Brent? It's like painting a room. 95% of the work is taping off. Preparing the wall to paint, covering everything up, and getting ready to paint. And then like the last 5 minutes is the painting.
Yeah.
And so this is a segment, guys, where climbers, listeners of this podcast, send in their song titles to info@daredevilproduction.com. Production is singular. There is no S. info@daredevilproduction.com. Put song title challenge or STC in the subject line. That way I know where to put it. It gets in the right folder. If you don't, it won't. And I that's had to have happened. I don't know how many times, but I wouldn't know because it just maybe looks like spam or something. And I'm
Right,
like, I
yeah.
don't know what that is. Off it goes. But and then what we do is we get an esteemed guest, a killer writer, artist on the show with us. I spring that title live on the air, and then we spend the next 20 minutes or so trying to cook up 5 or 6 different conceptual angles on how to write that song, how to spin that title to make sure we've got something really, really amazing. That's the difference between getting a good song and a great song. Not for nothing, I believe that 9 times out of 10, it's just going to make writing the lyrics easier when everybody's just like, oh, that's it.
Yeah, it changes the vibe in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it gets everybody more creative. And it's not a co-write, guys, in any way, shape, or form. So you don't have to worry about that. It's just a fun, creative exercise. We're playing in the sandbox. Use all of what we say. Use none of what we say. It's up to you. We just demand an invite to the number one party. And finally, Brent, this is, I mean, you're not just you're not just the president here. You're a member. Like you've used this to breathe like new life into your old song hooks, right? Like,
Yeah.
and you've gotten cuts from it. So
Heck yeah. So we're doing these on the show for a while. I'm like, this is so much fun with the other people's titles. I want to do this with mine so I can actually go write them. And so I just started digging through my old hook book and doing that and kind of making it a systematized thing. And yeah, I've gotten cuts on award nominated album in Canada with Donna Marrow. I have a song that at the time of this recording is in the top 20 of the Singing New Southern Gospel chart with my friends Zane and Donna King. It's in the top 10 of the Faith Country chart. A song called Can't Go So Wrong that was like over 1,000 titles back that I would not have come across. But did the song title challenge myself, got an idea, took it into them. We polished it up. They're awesome. And, it's their current single and other things as well. So, man, I believe in it. Also, just funny, just this, I guess on just a couple nights ago at the time of this recording that I have a coaching client, a coach, he scheduled a coach write. So it's basically like, hey, let's go write a song. You bring the title. And he also brought a friend and it's like, here's this title I want to write. And man, the title did not light me on fire. Let's put it that way. Okay, this is how we do it. All right, but he knows though. He's probably listening. He knows about song title challenge, and we had like 2 hours blocked out. We seriously spent like the first hour and a half just trying to find an angle on this somewhat dud of a title. That honestly, that was like, oh, I don't know. But finally, we hit upon an angle. We twisted the title a little bit, but like it led us to an angle. We were like, oh my gosh, and it seriously like wrote the thing in like 30 minutes after that. Like. It was really cool. Like we're fired up about it. But most of it was just going, how do we make that make sense? And just beating our head against the wall. Then finally, boom, unlock something. We're like, done. All right, next. So I believe.
Oh, I love that story. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. All right. Well, we got a superstar today, man. Do you want to introduce our guest, please? Like, I'm stoked about this.
I am too. Today's guest.
Okay, we just before we press record, y'all. Like, I just was. We've talked to several episodes on our show where I've unpacked a Bob Lefsett's article or something, and I've always been mentioning the podcast. And I just listened to the Holly Knight interview on there, and she was super close with one of the songwriters that's been really close to this artist. So, and what they've done in the history of this artist and the legacy of this artist, it's amazing. So it's just kind of funny, like it all.
Small world, huh?
I was just like, oh my God, Sonny's going to be on like in a week. Like, this is great,
That's right. Today's guest is perhaps best known for being the bass guitarist of the band Exile, a role that he first held in 1977 and holds today. Exile's most successful hit, Kiss You All Over, spent 4 weeks at the top of Billboard's pop chart in 1978. And that makes, I believe, this year the song's 45th anniversary. It's a jam.
Congrats.
Yes,
Congrats.
Johnny and I were riding around, maybe last time I was in or time before when we knew that this guest was coming on, and we're like, crank it. We're
Yeah.
just rolling down 24 on the way to around going, I want to kiss you all over. So it's never saying that with another man. But anyway, in addition to co-writing several of Exile's singles, our guest also wrote Restless Heart's 1992 hit When She Cries, which is awesome too,
Wow.
along with What I Did Right by Sons of the Desert, Beautiful Mess by Diamond Rio, She Thinks She Needs Me by Andy Griggs. I know Andy, he's a nut. And
Yeah.
Fall, recorded first by Clay Walker and then by Kimberly Locke. But his writing days are definitely not over, as he is all over the new album by Exile called A Million Miles Later, which is available now wherever you get your good music. Sonny Lemaire, welcome to The Climb.
Welcome, Sonny.
Yes, sir.
Dude, we give credit where credit is due, my friend.
Mhm.
That's awesome. What a great song. Just Kiss You All Over. What a great song. Forever stained in my mind is Adam Sandler. Like, it's
Yeah.
so funny. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so good, so good. Well, thank you for saying yes, brother. This is
Yes.
awesome. um, let's jump into it
Oh
here.
boy, here we go.
So this
Always that
is
fearful moment, that little clinch.
yeah, the clinch. That's the clinch.
Clinch.
The clinch moment. So this is from climber Penelope Laird. I feel like we might have done one from her before.
I don't
Um,
know.
and the song title is Snake Charmer.
Snake Charmer. Okay. Penelope Laird?
Yeah, Laird.
All
Penelope
right.
Laird.
Well, thank you, Penelope. All right, Snake Charmer. I'm just writing it down
Snake
here so I have it in
Charmer.
front of me.
So my hot take on this, it seems on the surface, it seems a little specific,
Mhm.
but I feel like I feel like with knowing that we can, add stuff at the beginning or at the end. Like I think there's a lot of ways we could go with this.
Mhm.
That can be. I'm interested to see where this ends up. Let's put it that way, because there's
Yeah.
been Tony. There's been a couple times where we're just like, man, I don't know what's going to happen here. Like this is and you know what? Like sometimes I lose faith in our own process and our own system, and then at the end, I'm just like, oh my god, that was it. That was so
Right.
worth it.
That's why they play the game. All right.
Yeah.
So Snake Charmer, I'll dive in first. I mean, the first thing I think of, trying to let the title write the song, right? So what are the words in the title that give us clues to what this could be about? So snake, okay, what does snake mean? You think of like, I think of Paula Abdul. He's a
Cold-hearted
cold-hearted
snake.
snake, right? So that kind of person, like someone who's a snake in the grass, someone who is not above board, someone who is not does not have integrity. That kind of person, right? And charmer. So like maybe he is the snake charmer, right? He's a snake who is a charmer, uh,
Oh,
and so it's the kind of cold-hearted snake because he's just a snake charmer, or something, which could be. So there's that I think about. Um,
okay. So hold on, just
yeah,
to clarify, that'd be from the girl's point of view, and that would be
mhm,
like the girl who just can't stay away from the bad boys. Like she likes the bad boys, right?
yeah.
And so he's a snake charmer. I had to go out.
Yeah.
I had to
Or
hang. Like,
you're a snake charmer,
yeah.
like, yeah, but I know you're a snake charmer. I don't know. Mhm.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like, ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Right.
Yeah, yeah. I got the puncture runes right here, Yeah, I like that. I also think, like, if the singer is the snake charmer or the person, what does a snake charmer do? I mean, they're they're doing a dangerous thing, right? You got this snake here, this cobra or whatever, and they're just trying to charm them, and you could get bitten. And so there's this level of danger. It's like the girl going, I don't want to be a snake charmer. Like, I know you're a snake. I know who
Oh,
you are. I have no interest in being a snake charmer because I'm gonna end up bit, and I got no time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that, you know? So there's that kind of thing. Um, or it could be like Sonny was saying, the kind of a warning to someone else going, girl, you don't want to be a snake charmer. Like that is not the retirement plan for that is not the best.
uh, there you go. Okay, I got the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of George Jones's wife, Nancy.
Yeah.
Right? Like Snake Charmer, like she brought out the best in George Jones, right? He was this
Mhm.
beautiful mess, like he but there are,
Pun
it's
intended,
or how
beautiful.
about this? Like a
Yeah.
spin on like, Big Bad Bill is Sweet William now, right?
Mhm.
It's that like he was a snake and just a monster and all these things, and then he met the right girl and she must be a snake charmer because the idea of the snake charmer, what's so fascinating is all that danger is right before you, but they're hypnotized by the charmer, right? Like
Yeah. That is interesting. Yeah, that's cool. It's like the girl, it could be the opposite, but normally you just think of a snake being, a guy. The girl that is either drawn to
I
that
know plenty of
danger.
girl snakes, Brent.
I mean, there
Plenty
are. Well,
of girl snakes.
in the
I
context
wasn't
of
thinking guy, I was thinking girls.
yeah. Yeah, for the needs of commercial music, usually the guy takes the hit and you're not calling the girl the thing. But yes, in reality,
Fair enough.
however, the radio is not always reality. Um, but yeah, that person that's drawn to that danger, maybe he's a snake looking for a snake charmer. Maybe he's looking for someone to try and kind of settle him down. He wants that, but he ain't found her yet. Or it's snake in need of a snake charmer.
Hmm.
I don't know. That's interesting. Can you
What were
play
you thinking,
sitar on
Sonny?
it? That's all I wanna hear is the sitar. Mhm, mhm,
Uh-huh.
yeah,
If he's being self-deprecating, right?
yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, um, I'm trying to think of, like, in con because we get any genre is on the table. Of course, Sonny, you work in multiple genres. Um, going, "Okay, if this were, like, a hip hop song, Snake Charmer. Okay, what's going on there? Is it a different context? Is it a girl saying something about like hypnotize you like a snake charmer? Like she's putting herself as a snake charmer in a positive, empowered kind of Megan Thee Stallion, Lizzo kind of way of going, swaying. The thing about snake charmers, there's the swaying, the movement, there's a thing,
A dance. There's a
there's a
dance
almost
there.
a dance to it, yeah, kind of a sensuality almost, kind of like bring that out, like, yeah, I'm a snake charmer. Um,
Ah,
mhm.
like a hypnotic bass line, man. Like, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I can totally hear that. Yeah, man. Like, and let's remember this, boys. Uh, in the hair band days, and certainly in the rap music days of today, like it's the personas of the men are edgy. They
Mhm.
are snakes, and they like to sing about it, and they like to talk about it. And so, yeah, the snake charmer could, uh, that could be about the guys, and like it could be from a self-deprecating place. It could be about a one night stand,
Yeah.
like Snake Charmer.
Mhm.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm. I
Yeah.
mean, you know what? Hall and Oates got away with it.
Maneater?
Man eater.
Yeah, so good.
Chew you up, man.
Yeah. she'll have you hypnotized, and next thing you know, you're riding around in a wicker basket. I don't know. Um, I think also like oh, go ahead, Sonny. Oh, I was thinking like in a gospel or a CCM or a bluegrass gospel kind of thing of like charm her, that snake charmer. You know, you think about the serpent, in the Garden of Eden, charming
Mm.
Eve and talking her, you know, and planting doubts and seeds of doubts and seeds of doubt that bore bitter fruit. Um, like, would that be interesting? Use a snake, use a snake and a charmer, sweet talker, that kind of stuff. Or maybe that's something you even roll into more of a secular context of don't listen to that snake charmer because that whole Adam and Eve in the garden, we got a good thing going. Don't listen to that guy over there. He's just a snake, a charmer. Um, don't let charm her. I don't know. It could be kind of fun. Let's see what else. I thought I had something on the tip of my tongue and it went away. Darn it. Another sip of coffee. Mhm. That'd be fun. Yeah, if you can like mhm. No love for the serpent. In that world.
How about instead of like a direct approach of on to springboard off of Sonny's idea where you're warning specifically somebody.
Mhm.
What if it's the whole song is a warning? Like, here's what I learned
Mhm.
about being a snake charmer, right? Like
Yeah.
lessons from a snake charmer.
Yeah.
Something like that, where because I think there's a strong, huge faction of women out there who you know graduate out of snake charmer to because they're like, okay, I figured out not
Mhm.
how to recognize that I'm doing this and how to not do it. And there could be a lot of like a self-help element to it that's just kind of like a warning to all the girls kind of a thing, like about yourself,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
Don't be the snake charmer. Like, are you a snake charmer?
mhm. Yeah, that's cool. Like, you better be wearing some armor if you're gonna be a snake charmer, like because
Ah!
but yeah, that like, I've been
There's
there.
not
There's
enough
no
armor if you're a snake
there
charmer.
ain't enough armor. You better wrap your heart in armor if you're gonna be a snake charmer. I think that's cool because going, yeah, like girl, you don't want to be that almost well, like you'd rather be a lion tamer than a snake charmer. A lion if you go a man that is rather, bold and assertive and like rather type A than type A hole, man for you, like
Yeah.
I'd rather have a lion than a snake. I don't know if there's something
Oh,
there.
I like that. I'd rather be a lion tamer
Tamer,
than a
a
snake
snake
charmer.
charmer. 'Cause
That's
you think
good.
about, a lion just, you can think of if you especially if you frame that in the positive, not a man eater kind of way, but like in a positive, like, you know, kind of way. And the snake, that just comes with its own negative connotations. I think that could be cool. Yeah, because again, there's no good retirement plan for a snake charmer. Like just one girl, it's not gonna you're gonna get bit. You don't want to be a snake charmer. Like, and yeah, those girls that are drawn to those broken guys, like, I can fix him. I can settle him
Yeah.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a
Like, what
great
that would be the metaphor for the snake charmer, right? Like the girl
yeah.
that's trying to fix the guy all the time, like an empath,
Yeah.
like a so that's what I'm saying. Like, use that as the metaphor to like if you really worded that right, you could like that could hit the note so hard with
Yeah.
some women that are like, "Crap, this is me," Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
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 oh, that's right. Yeah, it
there
turns out I'm
it
just
is. That's hot right there. I
yeah.
thought I was a snake charmer. Now look at. I don't have any fingers. Like
I can't feel my arm.
I can't see.
It tingles. It burns. Um, so it almost feels like that could be like kind of the Taylor Swift kind of thing too, where it's
Mm,
all, it's all like I
yeah,
thought you da da da, you know, and I just thought I was a snake charmer, but here I am. That could be cool. That could play in different genres as well. I mean, that I can feel that being like blues,
eh,
pop. Like it feels very it could go a lot of ways with
malleable.
that. Very malleable in like a good way. Um, I think that'd be fun. And a lot of these angles I think could work in different. I mean, I could hear like a blues art or kind of a Keb Mo doing "Girl, You Don't Want to Be a Snake Charmer." I mean, that feels like it very could go all kinds of ways, which would be much fun. Canada? Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Some sort
And,
of
thinking about
interpolation.
that, like,
Yeah.
lyrically, the imagery, you could really just sort of spell that out, like the dance and the
Mm.
I'm swaying my instrument, and they're dancing back and forth, and you can kinda really just kinda go into that, uh, in a metaphorical way and sort of find some clever ways to just
Yeah.
just demonstrate, articulate, or illustrate that dance,
Yeah.
you know?
I'm not gonna lie, the picture that popped in my head is old school Britney Spears with that python or that boa constrictor around her
Oh,
shoulders.
yeah,
You know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Yeah, you do. Exactly, like, "Huh, snake charmer, okay."
yeah.
Um, yeah, there's a lot of ways to go. I mean, it feels like maybe not a lot of ways to go with that, but there's several ways within a fairly limited thing to kinda serve it up.
Well, hold on a second. We're only limited by our imaginations, though. So
Exactly, yeah.
now you got me thinking about like I'm thinking about the big the guys who on the surface look like you might need to be a snake charmer, but then they're
Mhm.
these like beautiful people,
Yeah.
some of the like who are the guys from the what was that motorcycle show where they built motorcycles or whatever?
Oh,
Um,
it's like the
Yeah, Jesse James was the guy or whatever. I mean, he
yeah,
ends up married to, uh, America's sweetheart for crying out loud out of Hollywood, because he's like this beautiful dude or what, but he just has this like rough look to him.
yeah.
Maybe Snake Charmer could be about not reading a book by its cover or judging a
Mhm.
book by its cover, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Looking
You
for
know?
snake
How
ch
about okay, I know we've used this example before because I always go to it, but wasn't there like a story about like a new pastor that comes to a church and he's hanging out at the church for like the first week, dressed as like a homeless guy just to see
how people react to
how
him.
people react to him. Like are are you this like what did he discover from that angle? Like
Mhm.
where who wanted to help, who didn't want to help, who wanted to be a snake charmer, who didn't want to be a snake charmer,
Yeah.
right? Could it almost be like, step up and be a better human? Or
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna take that risk
I don't
for
know if you can get away with that with
the
snake
gospel.
charmer though, but
Yeah, it's got a lot cooked into that one. Snake Charmer. It's a bluegrass instrumental, and I can do the lyrics. Um, it's got a sitar in there somewhere with the banjo. Let's see.
a
Uh,
sitar and a banjo.
sitar and a banjo. Yes. Let's see. Mhm, mhm. Oh,
Mhm.
heck yeah. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah. And it could be like about it, the girl that just kinda owns the bar or the scene that night, and it's like this place is like a pit of vipers, man, but she's a snake charmer. She's up there dancing or dancing on the
Oh,
bar kinda thing, and everybody's like, "Hello." Um,
yeah.
that could be that kinda thing too, just about man, she's holding this whole room in the palm of her hand. So that could be more of all she wants to do is dance, a pop thing, a rock thing, or whatever. There's many ways you could do that of just this girl that just captivates the whole room and all these just dudes. It's a pit of vipers, but she's a snake charmer. Um,
Oh, okay, springboarding off that, like, you know how the more you experience different groups of people,
mhm,
the more you find out they're all the same, right?
yeah,
There's always like there's certain town characters
mhm,
are in every group of people. They're in your church group, they're in your rock and roll band, they're in your country band, they're in, and it's always they were all human, And
yeah,
so what if it's like to your point where she's working the room, but how maybe somebody can flow in and out of these circles
mhm,
and be able to kind of, charm them because there's snakes in every circle, isn't there? Like
sure, yeah. Snakes in every basket. You know.
Snakes in every basket.
A chicken in every pot.
And okay, so what if I didn't need to be a snake charmer? Like, um, what if it's sort of innocent where maybe the first impression was
Mhm.
something wild that you could dream up, right?
Yeah,
Like maybe it was a bar fight. The first time she saw this guy, he
yeah,
was in a bar fight, but you don't know the situation, right?
right, yeah.
You don't know what happened, and then at the end, you kinda reveal like, "Oh, it's something totally different."
Mhm,
Maybe it was, a bar fight where she saw this guy just completely kick somebody else's ass, and it looked bad, and she's got all this sort of that was the first thing she saw, but she didn't
mhm.
realize what happened before that, and she finds out, and it's like, "Oh, I didn't need to be a snake charmer after all,"
After
something
all,
like
yeah.
that.
And I'm wondering too, like, okay, we've been all, so far putting the snake as other than the devil is like all like people. So could something else be the snake? Like, is the snake the music business?
Mm,
And like
here we go.
it'll
Yep.
it's elegant, it's graceful, it'll turn on you, it's strike
It's
quickly, it's
extremely efficient. Yeah.
extremely efficient killer, and whatever. But man, this person's a snake charmer. Is there something I don't know? Think of the Snake River, and they're a great rafter. The snake charmer. They know how to work that situation.
Mm.
Just other ways of like the snake being something other than just like a person with not great integrity. Could it be like the music business or one of those that's kind of more folky and just kind of more layered, and you're like, oh, it's really about the music business, but I put it in terms of a relationship. It's really about Music Row or whatever. Like what else could that be? Thanks. Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, I think about, like, those guys, like, I've gotten hooked on their content before, but there's these cats that have, like, this huge I don't know if they're down in Florida or whatever, but they got this huge, like, snake repository or something, they've
Mhm.
got cobras, they got rattlers, they got and they're always, like, in reels or whatever with, like, this huge king cobra, and they're handling it, like,
Yeah. What are you doing?
effortlessly, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's so what if it's about, doing something that's really hard or really dangerous and just making it look easy, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah, like a snake charmer, yeah. Yeah, this making it look easy because that's the thing about, like, snake charmers, they're just sitting there playing their little flute or whatever, and it's not really even about the music, it's really about the movement that's just kinda mesmerizing, but, yeah, making it look easy, would be the thing, it's like, man and you could almost, like, have it not be about playing off the reptile thing, but just at the end, almost throwing that out like a snake charmer, like, you don't have to build all this, override it to the hook, but let that just kinda drop in at the end. Or even let lion tamers, snake charmers, and you know, what
what
if
if
it's
it
a
okay,
list of,
what
like, stuff I've been in my life, I've been a poet, a pauper, a pawn, and a king, right? I've been a snake charmer, lion tamer, you know, I don't know, some other things like that, just going
like a listicle. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, almost like, God is good, beer's great, God is great, beer is good, people are crazy, almost a Bobby Braddock kinda, meet the guy, he's like, "I've been this and that," and, so I can be your snake charmer. Mhm. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
there we go.
Make your body
Yep.
sway like a snake charmer. I don't
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Um, yeah. All
What
that
what
mesmerizing stuff is kind of rich content.
I had something there, no, I
Oh, that
just
happens
lost
all the
it.
time. Love that it happens in the room, like, "Wait a second. Okay, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. It'll be in there waiting on me. Hold on, I'll be back."
Yesterday I was no, wait, that wasn't me. Um,
This is a fun one
uh,
though, Penelope.
yeah,
So,
this is
I feel like there's one more. We've coiled it and uncoiled it and
coiled it and uncoiled it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's what you get for being a snake charmer. That whole thing about, coming out the other side of like, "Yeah, I've been bit," but that's what you get for being a snake charmer, like, trying to be a snake charmer. Yeah, for thinking you're a snake charmer. Um,
Well, hey, but how about hold on. Okay, hold on. I got it. I got it.
okay,
I got it. All
Horseshack.
right. So what if we're talking about a heartbreak,
Mhm.
right? And what if we're talking about like, two girls trying to reassure each other
Okay.
about a heartbreak? And what happens when immediately when we get our heart broken? I mean, one of those phases that we go through is like you're a victim.
Yeah.
He's a snake. He's this, he's that. It's like, no, 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 you're no snake charmer. Like this just it just didn't it wasn't supposed to work out. Or
Okay, yeah.
maybe some of it's on you. Like you want to be or you think you're the snake charmer
Mhm.
because you think all men are snakes, but they're not, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe this is just a bad egg, or maybe you did something wrong too, or maybe it's just it's a heartbreak. Like what does Miranda Lambert say? Like get it together. It's
Oh, this is not your
mama's
mama's broken heart?
not your mama's broken heart. Yeah,
Yeah.
you like, oh, girl, fix your makeup. It's just a breakup. Just kind of minimalizing everything. Like,
Yeah.
this is you're no snake charmer because that's no snake. Like, this is just
Yeah.
another boy. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Maybe
and
it's something like that.
it's kinda like, everything looks like if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail. If
Yeah,
you're a snake charmer, everything looks like a viper, or every boy looks like a viper, or, um,
if
I
you're
don't
a
know,
snake charmer. Oh, there
a
you
snake
go.
charmer, yeah.
It could be.
So,
We got a lot of good looks at this already, man.
whew, put in the work.
Yeah, there's some more there. Like if you kept that going.
Yeah.
Hey, Sonny, I got just a random quick question for you. Like, how I think it's a very rare and unique talent for someone to be able to weave in and out of genres so well. How do you do that? Like, what do you do anything to prep for that? Like, how do you? Is it just that's just the way you are, or is there some intention that you give when you're like, okay, wait, I got to get out of this mode and into this mode? It's a different uh, thing. I'm not writing country now. I'm writing for Exile, or.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Mm,
Mhm.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
Mhm.
mhm. And it's either gonna be a country song or an Exile song,
The
but I'm gonna let
Pharaohs.
the song determine what it's gonna be, and I'm not gonna how can you possibly determine what it's gonna be before you write it? That
Yeah.
makes all the sense in the world.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And that's wise to know yourself and know what's gonna work for you.
I love that. Thanks for sharing that,
Yeah.
Sonny. So, hey, where can everybody get in touch with you and like the new
Yeah, you have
record and tell us
Exile
what's
has a
coming
new
out?
single out called "Rough Around the Edges," and, the new record, "A Million Miles Later." Here you have a documentary coming up, some collaboration stuff going on, so
Oh,
what
wow.
help us find you and follow y'all. Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's the website is exile.biz? Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
get it though. Like I like thinking like that still.
Heck yeah.
I like thinking like that still.
Mhm. Hmm.
Mm. Oh yeah. Oh sure.
Great song, yeah. Hmm. Ah,
Oh, wow.
ah, that's
Oh
great.
wow.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Mhm.
Sure.
Oh,
Oh
cool.
wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, that
Very
is
cool.
awesome. I congratulations, and I love seeing that you're still doing it, man. I mean, I just you never let up on the hammer. That is it's like clearly here's the deal. It's the best possible compliment I could give you. Clearly you didn't choose music, Sonny. Music chose you. You know?
Mhm.
That's the God's honest truth. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with me. Burn the ships and storm the island.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, thank you again for saying yes, Sonny. Um, guys, send in your song titles to info@daredevilproduction.com. Put song title challenge or STC in the subject line, and maybe you're going to get a legend like Sonny Lemaire to help flesh out that song title and really find some good insight on something. This podcast exists because we want you to win. So keep on climbing.
And we'll see you at the top.